Today on Shop Nation, we finish the table. Booyah! What's up, Shop Nation? Today we're going to finish the ultimate workbench build by adding a couple last minute details and doing some finishing on the table. If you have not watched the build videos leading up to this video, I highly recommend you do so. There are 3 videos detailing everything we've done to the table thus far. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click that little red button down there and make sure that you get content going forward. So there's really 2 reasons why I want to finish the table. 1, so it looks sweet. And 2, to protect it just a little bit. But before we get to any finishing, let's go ahead and add those last minute details I was talking about. I'm sure many of you are out there are the same way, but if I'm doing projects where I'm staining or painting or doing anything that is messy, I like to use this paper. It's either called masking paper or butcher paper. Up to this point, I've been using these little 18-inch rolls for projects, but what I'm finding out is I have to use multiple runs of them to cover up my whole table. So today at Lowe's, I found this 28-inch version of butcher paper. It's a little thicker, which I don't really need, but this is how thick it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually hang it on the end of the table so that when I need it, I can just pull it over the table, cut it, reuse. So for that, I'm just going to use a 1-inch dowel rod and some plywood hardware to hold it all in place. Alright, so what I put together is just a pretty simple bracket. I've got these angle leads into a rounded hole that fits the dowel, so that way if I'm pulling up on the paper, it doesn't pull it out of the holder, but it's easy to load and unload. It's just 3/4 inch plywood, some scraps I found mounted on a board. Basically how it works is you would load your roll, and this is mounted on the table, and you can pull a piece off and it should feed. This simple rack will mount here and have enough room for all of my most commonly used clamps. With those details knocked out, it was time to break down the table and remove all of the components in preparation for finishing. It's at this point that I started taping off all of the areas I didn't want to or need to stain. Take your time here, because any finishing job is only as good as the prep work. Okay, so the next step after masking off all the areas is to sand any areas that I have not already previously sanded before we get to the stain. So for the finish of the table, I choose Minwax Poly Shades. And if you haven't seen this before, it's pretty common, but it's a combination stain and polyurethane. I'm going to try one coat and see how that looks. I might have to do 2 coats. But basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slather it on pretty thick because this is pine and I want it to soak it in. I want a darker look. And then once it's kind of tacky, you wipe off the excess. Let's get going. I highly recommend using gloves because stain gets everywhere. Using a clean rag, I wiped away the excess stain. I found it very important to start this step before the stain had a chance to completely dry. It was a sticky mess if you let it dry too long. I'm trying out something a little unique for the paint on these last minute detail items. I like how this hammered metallic spray paint looks. I'll probably incorporate this paint elsewhere in the shop in the future. With all the finishing work knocked out, I could finally start preparing for final assembly. Alright, so I'm not going to win any Amish furniture building contest, but I think for a workbench, it turned out great. Were there things I do different? Sure. Are there things I still need to fix? Yeah. For one, I need to readjust my doors. For whatever reason, I can't quite get them to sit right, so that'll just take some time. And two, I want to address a couple areas where the stain actually bled behind the tape. It just kind of bothers me. It's just an aesthetic thing. As always, Shop Nation, thank you for watching. Really, since Recording the last video to this video, which is about 3 weeks, we've gone from 37 subscribers to 247 as of recording this video. So that's a testament to you all liking what I'm putting out. If you don't already know, likes, subscribes, and views don't do much of anything other than inspire me to keep putting out content. If I know that what I'm making is valuable to other people, it inspires me to keep doing it. If you've ever tried to plan a project, execute the project, shoot yourself making the project, edit, and post the project, it makes the project turn into a much longer ordeal than it could be. But I'm doing it because I want everyone out there to achieve shop greatness. That's the goal. So if you can just take one little thing that I did and apply it to your shop, I'm good with that. I've got a lot more really good projects planned for the channel, so if you want to see upcoming videos, please hit the subscribe button. At the very least, give me a like if you liked the video. If you didn't like the video, tell me why. I want to know. Until next time, see you guys.